definitely one of the most memorable birds of prey in the entire world. Here he comes over the tops of your heads, making his entrance. This is Mowgli, and Mowgli is a bald eagle. Now most people know the bald eagle. Every day people come into the centre and the first thing they see is Mowgli, and they run straight over and announce he is an American bald eagle. And yes, you can find bald eagles in America, but you also find them in Canada and Mexico too. So they're a little bit more further afield than just that distribution. Now the most striking thing about Mowgli is that incredible white head. And it really shows how English language has changed throughout history, because the name bald eagle, it might be a little bit misleading. He's got beautiful white feathers all over the top of his head. But bald came from the word bowed, which in Old English meant white. So the white part refers to his head and his tail, and over time as language evolved, he became the bald eagle. But Mowgli's definitely got that beautiful white head, and he hasn't had this his whole life. So bald eagles, they start their life as a little egg, as most birds can start their life, and they'll be incubated by their mother. They'll be incubated through very, very harsh climates too. In fact, there are photos out there and videos out there of bald eagles sitting on their nests, incubating their young, even in snowstorms. So they'll be covered in snow, but they'll still protect those young and keep them nice and warm. And when a bald eagle hatches, when it fledges, it is dark brown all over. In fact, it's dark brown all over for the first 5-6 years of their life. Now, birds will go through molts, which is where they drop their feathers and they grow new ones out. And over time, as he gets older, he grows more and more white feathers all over his head, and he grows those beautiful white tail feathers too, which signifies that he is an adult. Now, adult bald eagles, they're very, very good hunters. They'll go for a lot of different prey. They'll go for waterfowl. They're very, very well known for going for fish. They'll also go for cottontails and jackrabbits out there, and they have some very cool strategies they use. In fact, they fly with the sun behind them and change their way of flying throughout the day as the sun changes over the sky to make sure that they can't be seen by that prey, that they blind their prey and they're able to take that food. But Mowgli today, he's tucking into a little bit of chicken. He absolutely loves it. It's one of his favourites. And when you can see him up close, you can really appreciate how beautiful he is. He has got huge, huge yellow feet. On the bottom of those feet is a lot of different ridges and bumps, which helps him to hold on to fish and helps him to grip his prey as he's flying. But today, Emma's doing all of the effort, holding it for him. And what we're going to do is we're going to let him go backstage. We're going to let him finish all of that food, and he's going to have a nice little nap probably when he goes home. That was Mowgli, everybody. Our beautiful, beautiful bald eagle. Before, he's one of our most memorable birds, but the next bird we're bringing out is definitely a favourite. He captures a lot of people's hearts. He gets that kind of warm, cuddly feeling behind him when he comes out, and I think that's because everybody loves owls. Owls are exceptional. They're so cute, they're so cuddly, but they're also incredible predators. So we're going to be introducing you to one of the largest owls in the world, and the largest owl in Africa. He's just at the back here. This is Gaston, and Gaston is a Pharaoh's eagle owl. Now, Pharaoh's eagle owls, as I said, they're found in Africa. They're typically found in sub-Saharan regions, and they're a very, very big bird. They get the name eagle owl because eagle owls are generally very, very large and very, very powerful. Now, Gaston, he is incredible to look at. He is fully grown, and when you get to take him in, you'll notice he has very, very big feet. He's got a very, very big body, but he is in fact small for an eagle owl. If you came to the display this morning, you would have heard about this already. It's called reverse sexual dimorphism, where the females are bigger than the males. So Gaston, he weighs in at around 3 pounds today. We weigh them every morning or afternoon. But a female Pharaoh's eagle owl can weigh in at around 6.8 pounds, which is massive. It's twice the size that Gaston weighs in at. Now they're this big because they need to be powerful. They need to protect the nest during incubation points, which is one of the reasons we think they're so much larger. They also need to be able to sit for long periods of time too. Now the Verre's eagle owl, because they have this size, they can be very opportunistic with their hunting. They can take lots of different prey with those massive feet. They start small, they will go for bugs and grubs, they'll go for stuff like millipedes, they'll go for moths. In fact, they've been seen using artificial lighting. They're a very, very clever species of bird. They'll wait until lights are being turned on at night time. They know that that attracts a load of insects in, and then they'll simply wait around and get a free takeaway off the back of it. But they won't just go for insects, they won't just go for those little snacks, they'll go for bigger meals too. They'll go for baby monkey, they'll even go for young crane, which are a lot bigger than Gaston. But Verre's eagle owls, they have no problem taking those prey sizes. Now they have different strategies when they go for those bigger hunting items. So what they'll do a lot of the time is this is a nocturnal hunter. Now I will say right now we get lots of questions throughout the day, and one of the main ones we get is why are our owls awake? So not all owls are nocturnal, some are diurnal species, they come out during the day, and it simply depends on when their food is most available. For our owls, we come in every morning and they know throughout the day that they are getting fed when the sun is up. So in turn, they wake up in the daytime, which makes them very opportunistic, and it means that Gaston here is perfectly happy being awake with us at the moment. But a wild Verre's eagle owl, they'll wait till night time because they know they're mainly going for diurnal species of prey. Now when they go for these diurnal species, they're asleep at night, so they'll wait until they're asleep and they'll use one of their main weapons, which is their completely silent flight, to take their prey items by surprise. Now we want to show you what it would be like to be the prey item of a Verre's eagle owl. So as he flies over your heads, I'll go really silent. And you can just see how silent he is. This isn't something all birds have, it is specific to owls. They have comb-like structures on their wing feathers. They also have very velvety feathers to reduce drag and turbulence, and it means that Gaston can fly in complete silence, which is incredible and also very, very scary if you to be one of these prey items. So as I said, he waits until night time, he takes them when they're asleep. And a Verre's eagle owl, as I mentioned before, has very, very large feet. These have a special locking mechanism in the skeleton, which almost works like a pitbull's jaw, which means they can lock on forever, and it doesn't use too much energy. Now Gaston, when he flies, he's so striking. He does a lot of these very low hugging flights because there's less wind when he comes to the ground, and it means he can set his wings and use less energy. And he's such an incredible bird. At only 3 years old, he is so incredible to work with. And he is one of my favourite birds. Don't go telling any of the other birds. He is one of my favourite birds in the entire world. And the other day we were talking in the staff room on break about baby birds, and specifically baby owls. And I remember that Gaston is my first baby owl I ever met. I came into the staff room one day, there he was in a little brooder, and he looked like one of those feather dusters. He was grey all over, he was very fluffy, and he had a very big set of eyes. And he kind of did this little wiggle that he does every now and then, except when he was a lot younger it was much more of an aggressive wiggle. He'd kind of sway everywhere, and he made this beautiful call he made. And that's when I realised I want to work with Gaston for the rest of my life, because he's got at least 3 decades where he'll be with us, and he's so great to work with. But Gaston, one of the things about him is he's known to fall asleep, so we can't do a slick exit with him. He'll fall asleep. He's got no stage fright at all. He doesn't mind taking a nap, and it's very hard to wake a Verre's eagle owl up. So what we do instead is we take him off home on the 5th. That was Gaston, everybody. Our beautiful Verre's eagle owl. Walk around. Pegasus isn't a bug. She is a black-chested buzzard eagle. Now that might be a little bit confusing. She's not a buzzard, she's not an eagle, she's what's known as a buzzard eagle. And you wouldn't be finding Pegasus out in the wild here in the UK, you'd be finding them in South America. Now she's a very beautiful bird to look at. She almost looks like a beautiful storm cloud. She's grey all over, with little bits of white everywhere and darker greys too, almost blue in some areas. But she gets the name black-chested buzzard eagle because when you can see her up high in the sky at the moment, she looks like she has a black chest. Now, just like Mowgli, Pegasus is another bird who went through a different change in moult, a different change in feathers as she went from her juvenile to her adult phases. So Pegasus began her life as a brown bird all over. She had lots of different bronze colours. She also had a little bit of ginger and chestnut in her. She was absolutely stunning from day one. But as she got older, she developed this beautiful grey coloration all over. And this signifies that she is now an adult flat-chested desert eagle. Now she is soaring beautifully today. She's got a little bit of wind behind her. She'll have thermals, which are hot pockets of air that they'll use to rise up higher and higher. And they'll go in this circular motion, and it's a really energy efficient style of flight. But what we're hoping to show you, we're hoping that Pegasus today will stoop in. Oh my gosh, his ear drops out the sky. That was incredible. That's Pegasus's stoop in. That is incredible. She doesn't do that every single day, but she looked fantastic today. I'm getting taken away by that. That gave me goosebumps. She looked incredible today. That was Pegasus, everybody. We're going to take her home. We're going to give her lots of food for that because she just looked astounding today. What an incredible bird to work with. Such a beautiful, beautiful flyer. You might notice Izzy has a hood on his head at the moment. Now when we're ready, we take the hood off. Falcons are a very visual bird, so this hood just helps to keep them calm. We remove the rest of the equipment, and he knows at this point that it's ready to start. Now falcons, they fly in such a beautiful, beautiful way. It's an incredible style of flight to watch, incredibly fast, and we also fly them with a lure instead. Now Reaper, he also often sits on this perch for a little bit. What he's doing at the moment is head bobbing. That's something he does before he starts his flight. It's something you see in a lot of falcons when they're getting ready to start a flight. But he's set off already, so sit back and enjoy Reaper's incredible flight. Noticed there, Reaper did a lot of bringing his feet out trying to catch that lure, and today he actually won. He beat Stuart today, he caught him out a little bit, and it's not always the falcon winning, sometimes the flyer wins too, but it changes every single day. They are very, very clever birds. They try different manoeuvres, they learn different techniques they can use to try and outsmart the staff here, and Reaper definitely put them into place today. What a fantastic bird to watch fly. Now the sacred falcon is an incredible bird. They're one of the largest falcons in the world. In fact, they're the second largest species of falcon that you can find globally, just topped by the Jer falcon. They're also found in 80 different countries, almost 3 different continents too, so they're very, very widespread. And if you really watched him there, you would have noticed just how magical his flight is. And what that did, it encaptured people's, honestly, over history, it captured all of their beliefs. And in fact, the sacred falcon is found in a lot of different folklore worldwide. Now, you can begin in Hungary, and there is a mythological bird in Hungarian folklore known as the turtle. And the turtle was believed to help protect cattle, protect livestock of nomadic Hungarian tribes. Now, the turtle was based off the sacred falcon. In fact, a lot of these tribes even kept sacred falcons themselves. And it was the same in Mongolia. They had very, very honest relationships with their sacred falcons. A lot of the nomadic tribes kept them, and they became an important part of their history. The falcon can be found in a lot of different deities too. They're found in the Egyptian god of the sun, which is shown to be a lanner falcon. In fact, we do have a lanner falcon here called Shri. They're seen throughout Egyptian mythology too. But the sacred falcon, they're not just found in history, they're found in the modern day. If we've got any Disney fans in the audience, anybody who's watched... Shoot's biggest Disney fan here. If anybody's watched Mulan, the old animation, there is a sacred falcon in that, which is actually the bird of the Mongolian army, and it was used to help spot the Chinese army when they were in battle. And it was one of the antagonists, but still a beautiful, beautiful emblem of that movie. Reaper's done an incredible job, so we're going to let him go home with Stuart. We're going to give him a lot of rewards for that today. He did a fantastic job. That was Reaper, everybody, our beautiful sacred falcon. Oh, he just got a whoop! I love that. So somebody think about, we don't even get that. We get a lot of people looking back and they look very blank-faced when our birds come out. Almost like they didn't want to go to a bird display at all. But you birds have been great today. You're one of my favourite audiences. I'm hoping to show you how this should look like in Africa when vultures are around there, flying beautifully around the place, showing you what they do best, which is capturing people's hearts. But you don't just get these vultures, you get lots of different scavenging species of birds, such as black kites, and they'll fly over carcasses and they'll join in with a scavenging situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint that for you, and in a moment or two time, we'll be joined by an entire team of black kites. Here they come now, sit back and enjoy the show. Does conclude our Sky Hunter show with our beautiful team of black kites and also our beautiful I just wanted to say that we don't just raise awareness about vultures, we also raise donation money. So what we do here at Muncaster is we've just got Peter over there and he's selling out wild garden bird seed. We sell it for £1 a packet and you can take it home with you, you can feed it to the birds on site too, not our birds, they are not vegetarians at all, but everything else you can feed it to. And what that goes into is every year on International Vulture Awareness Day, we give money to vulture programs and we help to raise money. One of the things they do is fundraising, they do conservation conservation efforts, but another thing they do is they have poison response kits. So poison response kits, they take them out to these carcasses, and they actually work. They've been shown to work. With rehabilitation, those vultures can go back into the wild, and we can help conserve those species further. And if you're interested in any of the other conservation work we actually raise money for, you can come to me at the end. You can come ask me any questions you want. I'll be over here with Peter. But other than that,